Hey and welcome to Hell. Here we have Hell Pit for 3 weeks. And the initial 2 weeks will be quite the grind. You're going to have to spend upwards of 15 minutes in here. Just, waiting for enemies to spawn and killing them. Here I'm going to show how you can do it mostly AFK. You don't have to have much input. However, depending if you have this companion or not, you may have to put in some investment. What I recommend is having a combat enchantment, a soul shield, because if your companion dies, the enemies are all going to attack you, and they'll focus you until you die, or until your companion generates more threat than what it had before. Now the reason to take the dedicated squire is he has a ton of defense along with a decent amount of damage and a decent amount of area of effect damage. You'll notice all those enemies taking damage over time there. That's through his smite ability, and because he can heal over time quite consistently, you can see he's also healing while he's hitting them. Now it's very important that you not just have the dedicated squire, but you have a mythic companion enchantment. This will allow the companion to actually deal that amount of damage. Without it, if this is only green, he's going to struggle, and he's probably going to die a lot more by not being able to keep on top of killing the enemies. And he still isn't the best at keeping on top of the enemies, but he's just about has enough damage that he can sustain killing them and healing himself. Sometimes he might go down, and that's where you have your backup soul shield. For the stable here, I would recommend just stacking those warlord inspirations for the companion damage, and then like champion's return for yourself. If you do drop to 50% health, you will get that quick boost of heal over time. I'm not stacking like all the other heal over times, because when you heal yourself with this, you're generating threat and the enemies are even more likely to attack you. So you end up with this cycle of them attacking you, you healing, and then them continuing to attack you because you're healing more than, let's say, your companion is. So right here you can see the dedicated squire did go down, but he has revived back up. We did get some enemies attacking us, but because we're not really doing anything, as soon as the companion heals a bit, he's just going to naturally draw their threat. We have some threat now because he did die and transfer some of his threat to us, so just be aware of that. So you want to have like that champion's return, and if the companion comes close enough like he did here, he's going to heal you back. So you can see this would be the opportune time that I do get back online and help heal these guys, because clear the remaining enemies. You're just spending more time than you really need to here, because as soon as they're dead you could move on to the next wave. But at least you can see you can AFK for the entire phase until you get clear remaining enemies. So you can pop back, kill off the enemies, and then you can proceed on to the next wave. I have found there can be some issue with the companion and those shadow devils. Sometimes he gets confused and doesn't know how to attack them. So depending on what arena you get, you might get those shadow demons, you might not. You may have to assist yourself on those. But again, it can just be after the timer's over, and so there's no real rush. You can stay AFK forever while you're in combat. You won't get logged out. So we're in the intermission here, and we're moving on to the next round. So let's just AFK here. You kind of want to be in the corner just so that enemies can't really get combat advantage against you. So we just kind of sit over here. There's plenty of other places you can go, but just so that they don't really flank you and get double damage against you basically. Again, we're at the point of clear all remaining enemies, and these shadow demons, I'm not sure what's up with the dedicated squire, but he struggles to damage them. So we may as well go and assist here since we returned back. So it's not 100% AFK if you end up getting those shadow devils. With them gone, it's on to the next round. That's round 4 finishing up. Just clear the enemies. Again, he's kind of having some struggle with these imps, and I'm pretty sure the reasoning is because, look, if you go far away enough from those imps, they just go invisible even to you as the player. So there must be some targeting thing there where they could be just invisible to the companion when he's even right next to them. Like, he's a bit confused. On to the next round, the final one. We are really getting beat up here. We'll probably go down and the soul shield will come in clutch. But these demons, they are packing a punch. This final round, you may have to apply some extra assistance, because I am not sure if the companion can manage this. These ads just have so much AoE abilities that are just gonna hit you a lot. Like, here we'd go down if we didn't get out of there, and just, yeah, we're gonna have to help out here. The last round where you get these pigs, I'm not sure you can fully go AFK. You may need to help out here or there. But again, if it's just the last round, I guess you can pay attention to that. You're going to get stuck just with your companion killing enemies between the rounds anyway. And I mean, you don't have to assist them, but it'll just go a lot faster if you do. Especially with those demons, the shadow demons. If you get them, you'll probably get stuck on them anyway. So you can go pretty much AFK, but not fully. Like, you do want to return back to finish off enemy groups, and potentially this last round you want to help out with those Glabrezu and also those Nelfishni. They just, yeah, so much AoE abilities and they just hurt like hell. I don't think any build can get you through that fully AFK, unless potentially you're a tank with like all the heal over time insignia bonuses. So that is our health pit done for the day, and that's about it. That is what I use. You can just pretty much AFK health pit. There's no real excuse not to do this event. It's fairly straightforward. It's pretty easy. I'm running a pretty trashy setup here, and we can get through it no problem. Help out, throw a few searing javelins and everything's dead. If you're running on a paladin, you'll have no problem as well. You can run Bane. It's got over 600 magnitude. Even on a low budget build, you should not have trouble beating up those enemies. You get scaled up, so it doesn't matter what your item level is. It can be 90,000, it can be 10,000. You'll still be set at a given score of item level, so everybody's damage is on the same level in that regard. The only difference would be your stats, and our stats are pretty terrible anyway, pretty basic here. They ain't got much that's gonna boost it. We're using healer gear here on a DPS because I wasn't gonna go and spec it out there. Just keep in mind again, the most effective companion is the dedicated squire, and yes, you do not have to upgrade him. Upgrading him, the only thing it will affect is this potency, and if you're AFK, you're not using it, and item level, which we said you just get scaled, so that's pointless. His damage will not increase when you level him up, so he'll perform just as good on blue as he will on mythic. But again, there's not a lot of him, and the price will probably skyrocket after this video. So there are some alternatives, like Lilend will do an admirable job, not the best, and she'll probably die a bit more, and it'll make it more likely that you will die too. So you might have to apply a bit more assistance to her. Otherwise, there are companions which will heal you a lot. If you are struggling with your health pool and enemies damaging you, you could get the angel or the fawn and they'll heal a significant amount. Follow like the apprentice healer, as we mentioned, Lilend and these others. It's just Lilend's got decent damage, the fawn has no damage, angel has no damage, apprentice healer is pretty bad damage, along with Celeste pretty bad damage. Cleric, Disciple, Silver Scaled, and the Faithful Initiate, I believe, are all about the same, and they actually have decent damage. You can see right there, 28,000. Silver Scaled, Cleric, Disciple, 28,000. And they're cheap as all hell. She just doesn't have the AoE damage that you would find on the dedicated squire. So ultimately, yeah, you're gonna have to require a lot of assistance with your companion, but those other ones will help you heal. Angel Protection should be pretty cheap as well with the fawns, just if you need the extra heals. But that's it for the video. Hopefully this will help some of you out there. Again, yes, the dedicated squire is the main guy who's going to carry you through this. I don't see any other companion, none that I tested, can heal for the rate he does along with tanking those enemies. With that said, a special thank you to all these channel members, and we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.